God blimey, that's a lot of things to read.
That Man and His Manga.
Hello and welcome to That Man. This is a light novel related thing. It is time once again to have a haul. This isn't a manga haul, it isn't even an anime haul. This is a light novel haul, and that means I get to pretend to you that I've read light novels and talk about them for a few minutes. That's right, it's one of those videos that just happen to exist. So, let's get on going and start talking about light novels, shall we? The first series we're going to talk about is the absolutely fantastic and one of my favourite series of all time. That is Ascendance of a Bookworm. I'll do anything to become a librarian. Part 3. Volume 3. I'm not going to lie, this is one that I have read parts 1 and part 2. I haven't actually started on part 3, but because it's very difficult to actually get light novels if you wait more than 10 seconds, I thought I'd pick this up along the way. No doubt I'll have an entire binge of this once I get the chance. Once I get down on my to-read list, I'll just binge all of this, maybe once the end of part 3 comes out. Who knows? I don't know. I'll be a little bit earlier, but this is an absolutely fantastic one. And you know what? G-Novel Club always do some really nice editions of these. Always love the editions of Ascendance of a Bookworm and a few of their other series that they've been putting out. I have been eyeing up more and more of G-Novel Club's releases because they do very nice work. And yeah, I always am on the lookout for nice looking and entertaining light novels. Which brings us on to the next title. So the next title we have is Infinite Dendrogram, and this is Volume 1 and Volume 3. Now I actually have read Infinite Dendrogram Volumes 1 to 3 before, and I just kind of fancied to start collecting them. Again, like I said, G-Novel Club put out so many nice titles, I wanted to start and own the ones I love. So I thought since I'm quite early on, I'd rather just buy these physically, and yeah, so I ordered Infinite Dendrogram Volume 1, and it actually ordered it for a different video that I'm planning on hopefully getting started on in the next few weeks. And Anime Limited announced that they started to pick up G-Novel Club's titles, so I've ordered Volume 2 and Volume 3 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Volume 3 is the only one that's turned up, unfortunately, so it looks like Volume 2 is still somewhere out there in the ether, in the post depot somewhere. Probably the Isle of Man. It's always the Isle of Man. It always is. But this is an absolutely fantastic title. Do not let the anime put you off. The anime was rushed. It was a horrible adaptation. This is actually a really good series. And if you like VR, MMOs, or just MMOs, you ought yourself to at least try this one out. It is a lot of fun, and I believe there's about 15 or 16 volumes, so you know if it's long and ongoing, it's obviously got something good to it. So yeah, go check it out and you will not be disappointed. Look forward to a review of this in the near future, because I am going to look at rereading this very soon. I'm thinking what I might do, Volume 1, do first impressions or second impressions, and then I'll just review maybe once every 5 volumes or something. That's what I'm thinking of doing with a lot of these long ongoing series, doing a re-review every few volumes, because hey, I like talking about series I love. So what are your thoughts on Infinite Dendrogram? Let me know in the comments, and we'll look at the next light novel. The next title is The Girl I Saved on the Train Turned Out to Be My Childhood Friend, and this was a blind buy. I don't know, I really like the look of the cover. I believe it's the same artist who did bottom tier character Tomazaki-kun. That's right, I'm going to call it Tomazaki-kun because I can. Yeah, a blind buy. I heard from the synopsis that this is a very comfy, cute series, and you guys know me. You know how much I love The Angel Next Door, spoilt me wrong. This is a very exciting pickup for me because I love comfy, cozy stuff like that. And if you guys have any recommendations for any comfy very comfortable series. Let me know. Again, it might be another video. I do want to recommend some more comfy series to you guys, so it might be a comfy related light novel video coming your way in the next few weeks. But at the moment, this is a blind buy. I don't know anything about it, but I'm very excited to check it out. So the next series is the almighty So I'm a Spider, So What Volume 13, a series that I've just finished reading. That's right, I literally just finished reading this volume, and wow, it is so good. And one of the things I did want to mention about this one is that it actually features characters that haven't appeared in the series for quite some time. So, yeah, I got a little bit lost, but yeah, what can I say about So I'm a Spider, So What? I can't really say anything, because anything I could probably say about this would probably spoil things immensely for people who are not caught up. It is one of those titles that absolutely relies on going in blind and staying as blind as possible, because the twists and the turns on this one are just come at you like a badger with rabies. And yeah, it's a fantastic series. I can't recommend it enough. Go check this one out if you want a overpowered protagonist who's just struggling to survive before they become entirely overpowered. It's incredibly well written, and I would really recommend it to anybody who wants a good written isekai overpowered protagonist. Lovely stuff. Next up, we have the current darling child of the light novel and anime world. It is 86 Volume 7. Now, this is one that I've been trying to get for quite some time. For some reason, Volume 7 and Volume 8 are almost impossible to track down, but I managed to finally get it, and maybe I'll just read it sometime. Again, much like Ascendance of the Bookworm, I'm falling behind a little bit on this one. The last one I read was Volume 4, so I think I'm just going to binge it and just enjoy it like that. I like the look of the cover. It's one of those ones I'm trying not to look much into it. I haven't opened it or anything like that, because hey, you know, spoilers. And this is one of those series, again, much like Spider Isekai, that the more you look into it, the more you're going to get spoiled, which is always nasty and kind of puts you off your dinner, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. What are your guys' opinions on 86? Do you love it? Are you excited for more? Let me know, and we'll get to another fantastic light novel. The next title is another one that I absolutely love. It's one that I always have been enjoying when I've read it, and that is the Saga of Tanya the Evil, and this is Volume 9. That's right, this one comes out once in a blue moon, much like, well, everything else, I suppose. Much like Overlord, it's like we seem to get a volume every now and again, and I think it's because we're pretty much caught up on the light novel. I think this one, number 12 might be the next one, so we're a little bit behind, but hey, I'd imagine Volume 10 will probably come out before I die. And it's another one I haven't read. Tanya the Evil is such a heavy read. It's one that I always put off reading, because sometimes I just want to have a light, easy read. Other times I want to have something a bit more in depth. But Tanya's one that I know for a fact, if I start reading this, I'm going to be reading it for about a fortnight. And it's nothing bad, it's just a heavy read. It's one that you've got to focus on. You can't really turn your brain off. And it's a lot of well thought out military stuff and military jargon for that, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to checking it out, because Tanya has never steered me wrong. It's always been a lot of fun, and this one makes Tanya look scared, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out. Have you guys read Tanya the Evil? And if not, why not? Let me know in the comments why you have not read it, and we'll look at another series. Ah yes, the gift that continues to give, and this is Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I max out my defense, and this is another one, much like the girl who got saved on a train, or saved by a train, whichever it's called. This is another comfy series with a bit more going on. I mean, it's not going to be a completely relaxing, but I would say it's definitely comfy, and this is about a girl who decides that she's going to put all of her stats into vitality and becomes super insanely overpowered. Nobody can damage her. It's an overpowered series, but it's not It doesn't have the usual thing, oh, I'm going to have to save the world or anything like that. It's just a person who's having a lot of fun, playing the game how they want to play it, and it just so happens that they end up being insanely overpowered. If you want a really good overpowered protagonist, this is one that I would 100% recommend, and it's one that I really, really, really want to do a huge video on because I absolutely love it. Also, something worth pointing out is that I believe Volume 4 covers up to the end of the anime. I can't remember if there's another, if like Volume 5 has some anime stuff as well, but yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's all going to be all new content. It's not so much focusing on the whole level up and the whole overpowered thing as much of this one. It's a lot more characters get introduced, but yeah, don't let that put you off. It's a lot of great fun. It's still 100% worth checking out and just continues to be fan-bloody-tastic. Rascal Does Not Dream, that series that I absolutely loved and then just kind of stopped picking up titles. I finally picked up Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Home Alone. It's so good to see another Home Alone's book. Was there ever an old Home Alone book? I don't know. I don't believe the Wet Bandits are in this one, nor are the Sticky Bandits. It's a whole new Home Alone thing. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually read this one. I actually think there's another Rascal volume that's just came out, so I'm well and truly behind on this one, which is a huge shame because I absolutely adore it every time it comes out. And it's interesting enough, this is actually a title that I was originally going to do a review on every time a volume came out, but as you can imagine, that just didn't happen. It is well worth another look for myself. I do need to check it out again, so maybe I'll try and pick up another volume. In fact, actually I'm seeing that the reason I didn't pick up this volume is because I just couldn't find it anywhere. Nowhere had it out in the wild, so I just ended up ordering it online. So yeah, much like 86 and Infinite Dendrogram and Bookworm, I think I'm going to end up building up a pile of these and then just binging it all at once. Same with ReZero as well. That's another one I just haven't read in a while. So yeah, maybe I should stop buying new series and check out some of these older ones. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of Rascal Does Not Dream? Do you love it, or do you just not? Well, does it not float your boat? And we're going to have a look at some newer titles. Next up is Majestella's Bad Trip, and I'm not going to get too in depth on this one because I actually have just recently put out a video which actually covers this one, and quite frankly, I kind of forgot even more than what I covered in that video, and there was very little I remembered from this one. It is kind of okay, it's not amazing, it is not actually very good at all. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable aside from the usual, you know. Yeah, go check out that video if you want a little bit more, and it'll save you 10 quid or whatever. I'll leave the link in the comments below. Next up is a title that I absolutely can't get enough of, and I read this one a few weeks ago. This is Rena of the Seven Spellblades, Volume 4. I'm cheating a little bit. I didn't actually get this in January. I got this one for Christmas, but hey, I won't tell if you won't tell. This is a really fantastic title, and I always say it's a bit like Harry Potter, and that's because, much like in Harry Potter, the characters go to magic school. But it does have its own merits. It does have a lot of its own merits. It's kind of like Magic School Harry Potter, but it's also its own entire thing. So yeah, that's kind of where the parallels end with Harry Potter, I kind of guess. But no, this one is a really good title. It's samurai and knights going to magic school, except magic school's gonna kill them and all the teachers are horrible, and yeah, it's angry, edgy Harry Potter with, yeah, I'm going to stop saying it's Harry Potter. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. There's an anime coming soon, so hopefully it'll be good. Let's check out another new volume, shall we? Right, so this one is an interesting title, Orc Eroica, or Orc Erotica. Again, I got this one just around Christmas time, but hey, I'm never gonna do a video on it because YouTube would probably ban me straight away for just talking about this one. In fact, I'm risking things just talking about it at the moment. Yeah, interesting title. This is about an orc who just kind of wants to fall in love and get married and get his end away and be all nice about it, except orcs are evil and all of them do horrible non-consensual things to women, and so that's the story. It's one of those ones where it's all of these things that happen, but they're like, oh, orcs are evil and they're going to do this and they're going to do that to these lovely women, and then it's kind of like, no, it's a nice orc who's a hero to all of them. It's actually really good. It's actually by the same author of Mushoku Tensei, so if you do enjoy this, and I know every single one of you do because you shout at me in every single video to read it, even though I've read volume 1 and I'll get to volume 2 eventually. I mean, look at this. I've got many other things to read before Mushoku Tensei. But yeah, despite the content, it is actually rather good. I'm going to wait until volume 2. I'm going to check out volume 2 before deciding because, yeah, it's got a lot of good things, but it kind of does go on about the RAPE a little bit too much for my liking, and to the point that I kind of felt more of a detriment that I just constantly talked about that than it was to anything else. But overall, it's pretty good, just it's not going to be for everybody. We probably should get some more ecchi titles, really, shouldn't we? It's time for the Jewel of the Month, and this time we have Sebikui Bisco. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, oh well. Time and life will go on. This is exceptionally good. It was one that a lot of people hyped up, and a lot of people who are not into light novels hyped up, and honestly, I was amazed. I've just recently done a video on it, so if you want more about it, I will put the link in there, but I will give a simple premise. It's about the post-apocalyptic world where rust has taken over and turned everything into desert, and one man with his doctor friend is going to, well, he's going to try and save the world with mushrooms, because mushrooms are the thing that will defeat everything, including rust. It sounds a bit boring, but honestly, it is absolutely daft. The comedy was hilarious. The characters were top-notch. Everything was on point. It is a really fantastic read, and I'm really glad that I listened to you guys and I listened to everybody else and checked it out, because I would have been a sucker to miss on this one, because honestly, this one was absolutely exceptional. And I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of really good titles in here, and there's a lot of good titles that I'm gonna have more fun with. Spider, Tanya, Bofuri, for example, they're all ones that I'm already into them, and you know, they're continuing good, but it's always nice to see a really good new title being put out amongst all of the others. I mean, seeing that, I mean, none of the titles, I mean, not so much you, but most of the titles on here that the volume ones are still pretty exceptionally good as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys have picked up and have been reading this month, and let me know what I should be looking at picking up for the next month, because there's a lot of really good new releases coming out, and I want to try and get as many as possible, as well as doing videos and covering some more. Let me know as well, would you guys be interested if I covered series again, maybe once I catch up with them, and maybe do a once every 5 volumes or something like that, or maybe once volume 1 and then if it ends on volume 3 cover it again. Let me know, because I am considering doing that, and then I'll lie and see it gonna do it and not end up doing it. But let me know what you guys have been picking up, and if you're not already, remember to subscribe to the channel and have a great day. Goodbye.